Look, I don't know if Joe Cronin is tuning in to the Miami Pro League. I don't know if that's up his alley or not. It may be tough when you got your head buried in the sand like an ostrich. You're probably not watching anything. You're just hoping the whole thing goes away. But it was a nice little treat tonight. Fun little treat for the Heat fan watching the Miami Pro League on the NBA app. I was like, oh, I saw Bam was going to be there today. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. They kept teasing a special guest, but then I was perusing Twitter, and they're like, oh, Jaime Jaquez is playing on the other team against Bam. I was like, color me intrigued. You now have my attention. I am in on that. And it was a delight. Those two put up a lot of highlights. They had a lot of fun together. And I think the thing that was fun about it, I know it's Miami Pro League, but listen, you got John Wall there. You got Dennis Smith Jr. You got some pros. You do have some pros in the Miami Pro League. And even though Jaime Jaquez did get his ankle snatched by John Wall, you got to respect the legend still. It was cool seeing those guys. It did feel very easily like those were the two best guys on the court with the way they were going back and forth. A lot of exchanging of buckets between Bam and Jaime Jaquez. Little banter back and forth. I liked seeing it. And, one of the things that remains fun about Jaime is like the kid's got hops. The kid's got hops. The kid's got a little athleticism, got a little excitement to him. Shows the 3-point shot from time to time. But I think the thing that was exciting about it is, first of all, just to see him healthy again because, you didn't get to see him at the end of Summer League. He had that shoulder injury. And, remember hearing from Caron Butler, like he was devastated is a strong word. He was down that, we couldn't get a chance to see what Jaime was going to be, but it was an exciting day kind of all around with this because the big highlights, I would say, Bam's, it kind of felt like with Bam, it was child's play with everybody, to be honest with you. He was like, it was a funny thing with Bam. It was like, I remember watching the Miami Pro Leagues last year, and it were kind of cool for a couple of reasons. One was the Donovan Mitchell pursuit, everybody trying to recruit Donovan Mitchell to Miami. But the other thing that was interesting, and I didn't watch the first quarter of this game, so I don't know if I missed any, but Bam Adebayo, I remember being a thing last year with Ben. We were getting so excited because he was shooting threes like crazy in the Miami Pro League, and these were just going viral on Heat Twitter like crazy. And you really didn't see any of that from him this game. He didn't really pull up at all. It was a lot of just, kind of going to the rim and dunking on people's heads, except I will say at the end, there was a funny moment where Bam's team was kind of putting it away. He was about to pull up for three, and he caught Jaime Jaquez in the air for a 3-point shot foul. And Udonis Haslem is just like, you could see him on the sidelines. UD was there in the building, and he's just like calling for the review. He's calling it BS. That was, I think, my favorite moment of the night, besides the coast to coast dunk from Jaime Jaquez, where he just tomahawked it and blew by Bam, and Bam kind of, Bam wasn't. What are you do? You sitting here, you challenging a game with Jaquez, but yeah, man, it was a vicious throwdown from Triple J. It was really really fun to watch. So I don't know, man. I don't know if Cronin is sitting there and trying to peruse or look at his assets or whatnot, but if you are, and you wanted to, if you venture off, you're still up early in Portland. What is it, 8:00 Portland time right now? Yeah, but listen, maybe Cronin's got his burner account on and he could see some Jaime Jaquez and see what's going on there. But if not, it was cool. You did see a little bit of a moment where Bam and UD and Jaquez were kind of chatting it up. And Jaquez had revealed, I think it was on Paul George's podcast. It's always funny with the NBA podcast. It feels like there's a podcast every summer that's like the podcast that kind of takes off and then everybody else cools down. And I feel like this year's like the summer of Paul George's podcast. Like last year it was the JJ Redick podcast, or 2 years ago it was the JJ Redick podcast. The year before that it was the Knuckleheads podcast. The year before, I think and then 1 year in there it's like all the smoke. It's always funny. It feels like one NBA podcast just like really heats up and gets everybody. That's neither here nor there. But anyway, it was cool seeing UD in the building, and seeing him get his flowers. I will say on the other side of the world, Nikola Jović. Peruse this on YouTube afterwards. Once you venture off this video, ladies and gentlemen. But you just type in Nikola Jovic, you see a little of his action. He was the leading scorer for Serbia today. They lost to Italy. But I tell you what, man, there's something about that Jovic, dude. Something about him, man. You know, the vision that he's got. I got to say, like, if I was Portland and I'm like, I look at just like what, you know, if you're talking about a little sweetener, you're going to get these picks, but like you want, like the idea you wouldn't want somebody of that body type and seeing what his skill looks like it could be at his age seems kind of crazy to me. But what do I know? You know, I'm not an NBA GM. I'm not a person who scouts this thing. I'm just a gas bag on a microphone who likes to have some fun, put on a whale, put on a captain's hat and make whale sounds. You know, I'm just here for the bleeps and giggles, dude. But I will say, Jovic, dude. I mean, he looked good. It was a day of seeing little sweeteners. You know, you're sitting here and Cronin wants to sit here crying and sucking his thumb and whining to the NBA about not making deals done. I'll sit here and I'll watch whatever the Heat's young players are. You know, that's the thing. It's like people always say, what's going to happen if you don't get Damian Lillard? And it's like, that would suck. I really, really want Damian Lillard. I'm not going to sit here and lie to all of you. I mean, if you told me tomorrow, if you told me tomorrow, hey, Tobes, here's the team. Bam, Jimmy, we got Damian Lillard. We figure out the rest. I'd be like, Spo's got it. Let's go. I am excited. That being said, listen, dude, I'm through and through. You give me any of these Heat guys, I will start the propaganda. I will start the manifesto that I have to pump up those guys or love what they got. I will write songs about anybody, dude. So it was fun. It was fun getting to see these guys in action today because, yeah, it's been a little bit slow-ski. I mean, we've gotten some words over the whole fodder thing, but, yeah, you're sitting in this lull right now of like 7 weeks, no basketball, and to see Bam and Jaime kind of exchange baskets from time to time, and you know, that was it was a cool thing to watch tonight. It was a cool thing to watch. But anyway, yeah, seeing Bam, I was like, yeah, you know what? He in that league last year felt like he was chucking up threes. I felt like he was kind of adding that to the repertoire. So I don't know. I don't know if he's just not showing, didn't feel like it, because it wasn't like a ton of threes were getting shot in this game. But I didn't know if he didn't feel like it and he just wanted to dunk, or maybe he's not. Maybe he's just casting it aside. And it's just like, you know what? It's just not a thing. It's not going to be a thing. I'm always going to be the guy that's setting up other people for shots. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if there's an answer to that. I know last year, like in his pregame routine, he added it to his pregame routine where he was shooting threes. But I was just like, oh yeah, that was like a Miami Pro League last year. I feel like that's the first place where we were all obsessing over Bam shooting threes. Didn't really see it. But Jaime's shot looked pretty decent. I don't know what was going on. There was like a wet spot on one of the floor. Like dudes were starting to slip left and right. They eventually had to call I think there was like 3 minutes left in the game. They ended up calling it just because dudes just kept slipping. Jaime like took a dive on a wet spot. So maybe it wasn't John Wall snatching his ankles. Maybe indeed it was just, you know, I don't know. Maybe it was just a wet spot on the floor. Either way, he didn't make the shot. So what of it, dude? Only other piece of news today, really, in Heatland, Tyler Herro, he had to call out the media, or call out Twitter, really. I should say call out Heat Twitter, because there was this somebody posted a ad from his camp, right? So Tyler Herro's got a camp coming up next Sunday in Deerfield Beach for the Tyler Herro Foundation on August 20th at the Pick a Ball Sports Complex in Deerfield Beach. So if you guys are interested, there you go. Tyler Herro's got a camp, but he has on the ad, it's Tyler Herro dribbling a basketball, and he's very clearly in a Heat jersey, but they washed out Miami on front, and everybody's like, oh. And Tyler Herro responded to this because he says, y'all reaching. And I saw this too on Twitter. I was like, you know, should I be the guy that's like getting in Twitter actuallys with people? because I don't, it's one of those things I used to do on Twitter like all the time. I'd be like, oh, actually, or burn people on Twitter, get into fights with people on Twitter. It would really take me, it really takes something for me to do that now. I feel like it's much more fun to do it on the microphone than it is on Twitter. But like, this is quite odd. Just to let everybody know on this, I'm not saying Tyler Herro hasn't posted cryptic stuff this summer. Quite obviously he had. This was not. And I think just to like let everybody know, you'll notice that with any NBA player. Go look at their camps and their advertising, and a lot of the times they'll have a Photoshop. They'll have to Photoshop the NBA stuff out because it's not a Miami Heat event. They don't have they're not sponsoring the event. They don't want to give a cut of the money to the NBA. So it goes to the foundation. So a lot, charity. So they wipe it out. Go look at, I don't know, Max Struess's, go look at Bam's. You'll see that they won't put any Heat stuff on there officially. So that's all that is. That's not that's you'll see that anytime. You'll see that with last year's Tyler Herro camp, that he doesn't have anything. And listen, this is coming from me. You know me. I'm an anarchist when it comes to boots on the gram and Twitter likes, and I'll find anything. I you know me. Anything I can sniff out that I think is fodder, rumors, or stoking the flames of something. Old Tobes is going to go out there and do it. So this is nothing. My family. It could be something, could be nothing. This is nothing for Tyler Herro. He's just advertising his camp, and they don't have a partnership with the Heat for it. So you can't, advertise the Heat on there. That's all that is. It's weird. I don't know why the NBA has got to be so petty on stuff, but then why can't you call the Super Bowl around, ads and stuff? Like you would think certain things become just vernacular of Americana, but no. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So there was that, and then that's pretty much it. Of all the Heat assets, everybody kind of had an interesting day. Tyler Herro shutting down the fodder. Jaime Jaquez Jr. balling out with Bam, or balling out against Bam, I should say, and getting a little ear time, eye time, face-to-face time with UD. And Jovic, leading Serbia in scoring, even though I do believe they came up short against Italy. I tried looking at the score. It came up like all kinds of like, it was like, do you want to change? The website was like, would you like to change this to American version? I was like, yes. Didn't work. I'm pretty sure they lost by a point though. I'm pretty sure I will say he had a beautiful coast to coaster. You want to talk about Jovic, dude? Near the end of that game to kind of keep them in it. I believe it cut it to 88, 84 after the and one. That was a beautiful play by Jovic. Jovic, dude. I really want Damian Lillard, but that Serbian Terminator, he's something.